Let's take a look at some more harder questions involving a pair of equations. So this time we want to solve something like this. So our two equations are 2 divided by x minus 1 divided by y equals 3. Second equation is 1 by x minus 2 by y equals minus 1. Now, see, this is a little bit unusual because our variables are in the denominator. Now, we are used to solving equations like this, right? So let's randomly write two equations, maybe say 2x plus 3y equals maybe 10 and x minus y equals 5. So I have written completely arbitrary two equations. Now we are used to solving equations like this where our variables are in the numerator. But here we have the variables in the denominator. So how are we going to solve questions like this? So well, this is quite straightforward. What we're going to do is, let's say this is our equation 1 and this is our equation 2. So for equation 1 we can write this as 2 times 1 by x minus 1 by x equals 3. And our equation 2 we can write this as 1 by x minus 2 times 1 by y equals minus 1. And now what we are going to do is we are going to take these two values. So we are going to assume 1 by x. So let's write it over here. So we are going to say 1 by x is equal to, let's say, a. Now this, we can take any value here. It can be a, b, c, or anything other, as long as it is not x, that's fine. And similarly, we are going to take 1 by y and we are going to say, let us assume that 1 by y is equivalent to b, right? Again, we can take any value as long as it is not y. And the question is, why are we doing this? Now, see what happens. Now, instead of 1 by x, we can replace it with a, right? So now our equation 1 becomes 2 times a minus b, because 1 by y is b, equals 3. And this will become a minus 2b equals minus 1. Now, see what happened. So what we did was that we effectively transferred or changed our equations whereby our variable was in denominator. Now we have two different variables. A and b are not the same as x and y. But nonetheless, right now we have two equations and two variables which are all in numerator, which we can solve. So if we quickly solve, we can multiply this equation by 2. So we can make the 2a, and then we can subtract one of the equations from the other. So let's multiply this by 2. Let's do it over here. So we will get 2a. So if you multiply both sides of this equation times 2, so 2a minus 4b. So 2a minus 4b will be equal to here minus 2. And equation 1 remains unchanged. So we can write this as 2a minus b equal to 3. And now what we are going to do, we are going to simply subtract one from the other. So this will cancel out. Minus b plus b is minus 3b, which will be equal to minus 2 minus 3 is minus 5. And now we will have b equals 5 divided by 3. Minus minus cancels out. We will divide both sides by 3. So now b is 5 by 3. Now we can take the value of b and replace it in any one of the equations to find out the value of a. So let's say we replace the value of b here and find out the value of a. So here a will be minus 2b equals minus 1, or a is equal to 2b minus 1, because we can get the b on the other, this term on the other side will become plus 2b. Now 2 times b is 5 divided by 3 minus 1. This will be 10 by 3 minus 1, or in other words, this will be simply 7 by 3. So what we have seen is, so we have found out the value of a and we have found out the value of b. So this is the value of b and this is the value of a. Now, quickly recall, we are not trying to solve for a and b because we created a and b. We need to solve for x and y. So it is actually very easy, because now we know that b is equal to 5 by 3, right? But what is b? B is nothing but 1 by y. So we can say this is 1 by y, and simply by solving this we can find out y. So doing a quick cross multiplication here, so we can say y is equal to 3 by 5. So we have found out the value of y. So similarly, a is this value 7 by 3, but a is nothing but 1 by x, 1 by x. So similarly, on solving this, we will get x as 3 divided by 7. So now we have actually found out the values for x and y. So this is the value of y and this is the value of x. So this is how we solve these questions where the variables are in the denominator. Now let's take a look at one slight variation of exactly the same concept in here. So what we will see here is that this is very similar to the last question, except the denominator does not have only the variable. It has like x plus 1, and instead of y we have y minus 3. So how are we going to solve something like this? It will be exactly the same approach. So what we are going to do is we are going to assume that, let's say, 1 divided by x plus 1 this time, because our denominator is x plus 1 and not x. So 1 divided by x plus 1, let's assume this to be a. And similarly, here the denominator is y minus 3. So let's assume 1 divided by y minus 3 to be b, right? Now, once we have done this, we can, this equation will become simply 2a minus b equal to 3, and this will be a minus 2b will be equal to minus 1. Now, I have kept the rest of the values the same on purpose. So if we solve them, which we just now did, we saw that a was 3 by 7 and b was, what was the value of b? Let's quickly take a look. B was 5 by 3, a was 7 by 3. So let's go back, let's fix this. So a actually is 7 over 3. So let's write it, a is 7 by 3 and b is 5 by 3, right? So b was 5 by 3. So now here we will just replace a by 7 by 3. So here we have 1 divided by x plus 1 equals 7 by 3. And if we solve this, we will do cross multiply. So we will have 3 equals 7x plus 7, or 7x will be equal to 7 comes here, minus 4, or simply x equals minus 4 by 7. So this is the value of x, minus 4 by 7. So what is the value of y? Now here 1 by y minus 3 is equal to b, but b is 5 by 3, right? So b is 5 by 3. So now if you do cross multiplication, so we will get 3 equals 5, it will be 5y minus 15. And now from here we can say 5y equals, so this comes here, so 3 plus 15 will be 18. 15 is 18. Divide both sides by 5, we will get this as 18 over 5. So these are the values of x and y. So this is how we solve these questions where our variables are in the denominator.